כל השונה הלכות בכל יום מובטח לו שהוא בין העולם הבא. בעזרת השם, the mitzvot this week we are already in Parshat Vayishlach, which is the 10th of Kislev. We'll be discussing the two mitzvot. Unfortunately, the mitzvot were not sponsored yet. Anybody wants to sponsor them, let us know. You could reach out to me anytime you want. The first mitzvah was going to be B'ezrat Hashem, mitzvah number 119. Place salt on all korbanot. Ve'al kor korbanecha takriv melach, it says in the Torah. Mitzvah number 120. Right? The great Sanhedrin must bring a korban for a wrong ruling. It says over there, ve'al kol edah yashku, ve'im kol edah yashku. So now let's start the mitzvah today. Mitzvah number Kuf Yutet. Lakriv melach al kol ha-korbanot. All korbanot must have salt. Klomar, shiten melach v'basar ha-korban v'chen v'mekemach ha-menachot. It doesn't matter whether it's meat or it's only flour. The korban must have a salt on it. Shneimar, as it says in the pasuk, Vayikra Perik Bet, pasuk Yud Gimel, the 13th chapter, the second chapter in 13th pasuk. Al kol korbanecha takriv melach, and all your korbanot you must have salt. כבר אמרנו במצוות בניין הבית, כי משורשי המצוות הקורבנות להכשיר ולאשר נפש המקריב אותו. The whole purpose we already taught. רפואת חיים Ben? Regina. The condition is you must stay a few minutes and listen now.
I'll stay for
It doesn't work, but okay, anyway.
I'm Shalia.
The whole purpose of korbanot is, as we said, is to straighten out the person's behavior and make his the person's neshama to become purer. ועל כן לעורר נפשו של מקריב נסתבו מהקרבת דברים הטובים והערבים והחבבים אליו. So therefore, a person who brings a korban is commanded to bring things that are desirable to him, that are nice to him, right? Who eats food today without salt? Unless some sick people. But most people, normal people, eat food, must have salt to make it more desirable. So too, when you bring a korban, not like Hashem Chas v'Shalom needs it. That's not the purpose. The whole purpose is for you to understand that this is what it is, that this is what it requires to make it nice. Today, right? וכמו שכתבנו למעלה, והמלח בו גם כן מהשורש הזה. So too, the salt is also in this root, כדי שתהיה אותה פעולה שלמה. And we know that the completion of the meal, the completion of the dish, is a proper amount of salt. לא תחסר לפי הנהגת האדם דבר. So as we know that when a person cooks, that as with the previous mitzvah we learned that you're not allowed to bring korbanot without salt. Now we're telling you that Hova deoraita to bring korbanot with salt. כמו המלח לא יערב לאיש לא טעמו ולא אף ריחו. That we know that without salt, the dish doesn't even have a smell, proper smell. The salt awakens the taste and the smell also. ומלבד זה יש במלח עניין אחר רומז, as we see that there is another hint in the salt, כי המלח מקיים כל דבר ומציר על ההפסד והרקבון. What else does the salt do? Salt prevents destruction and prevents the spoilage. Salt makes it more or less longer. As we know that the fish, right? You salt fish and you salt meat, it could last for ages, right? What do they call it? Beef? What do they call it? Beef jerky? לכן במעשה הקרבת ינצל אדם מן ההפסד. So too, that a person, what's the purpose of the korban? That he should not have a loss. ותשמר נפשו ותשאר קיימת. He's going to straighten up his neshama, and he's going to become his, because not just going to straighten up his neshama, he's also going to last longer. And that's the whole purpose of neshama, that we are here, right? That that should not go to the sour. Midinei mitzvah, what is connected to the mitzvah? Ma shamu zechronam lebracha, is our sages told us, minachod, in the daf chav, 20th page, amud aleph. כי כל הקורבנות מנמלכים קודם שיעלו למזבח. As we know, all the korbanot, before they go up to the altar, they should be already salted. ואין לך דבר שקרב למזבח בלא מלח חוץ מן הנסכים. So, the only things that they don't put the salt in, obviously, the wine, נסכים. Whatever they perform the נסח with. not נסחים. והאדם והעצים. Also the blood doesn't get salt, and also neither the wood. You don't on those things you don't put salt. However, those items that we just mentioned, the nisachim, the wine or the water, whatever the nisuch mayim we do, nisuch hayayim we do, right? Nisuch mayim on Sukkot, nisuch hayayim the whole year, no salt. Blood, no salt, and the etzim, no salt. However, to that we don't have a pasuk that tells us specifically not so. What happens to a person who transgressed this avera? Right, this is mitzvah number Kuf Yuted. We said last week Kuf Yud is the isur of doing hakrava without melach. So over there, obviously, he'll get lashed for that avera, right? He gets malkut for that avera. Here, a korban kasher v'nirtza. However, a person still has to know the korban was accepted. It's still kasher if it was brought without salt. However, the mincha, the flour or meal offering, those things must have a salt, and if it was brought without salt, it would not be kasher. You have to redo it again. But if it was a regular animal that they shechted, and the animal was brought on the mizbech without salt, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will accept it. However, he will get. Last week we said, what's the punishment we said last week? Lashes, because he did it. That's right. Sheneimar. Why did okay? Sheneimar ba bepirush. ולא תשבית מלח הברית אלוהיך מעל מנחתך. So in the mincha offering, however, the Torah specifically pointed out additionally told us that you should not be missing salt in it. So the word missing indicates that it's me'akev, meaning it's not going to be accepted. ויתר פרטיהם המוארים בספר בספרה ובמקומות ומנחות. The Torah gives us many other places that this mitzvah is discussed. מנוהגת בזמן הבית בזכרים בכהונה. Obviously, this mitzvah is in the time of the Beit HaMikdash, and the זכרי כהונה, ועובר על זה והקריב מנחה או קורבן בלא מלח, כלל ביטל עשה, ועוד שהוא עובר עליו, דכתיב, ולא תשבית מלח. So we said already, if a person who transgresses this commandment, so again, he brought the korban or without salt, so we said that this person breaks the mitzvah number 18, he gets lashed. But for breaking mitzvah number 119, we have a problem. There's no lashes because it's not aseh, but it's a tzivui hamelech. So it sounds like it's not going to be enough if he still gets lashes. He's going to have to do much more bigger tshuva. Mitzvah kuf chav. Now this is a mitzvah that we need to spend a lot of time in because we're talking about a mistake of Sanhedrin. A Beidin makes a mistake. So Baruch Hashem, that's why it looks like the other one was a little bit short. Let's start. שיקריבו סנהדרין גדולה קורבן אם טעו והורו שלא כהלכה בעבירות חמורות שחייבים עליהן כרת. So if Beidin paskin any halacha that will, if a person individually transgresses that halacha, he will be liable to have karet. His neshama will be from this world. That in that sin that Beidin caused Am Yisrael to fulfill, they have to bring a special korban. ועשו הקהל או רובן על פיהן. Now the entire community or most of the community follow the halacha of the Beit Din, right? As it says again, we're gonna find out later that which a lot of people are misusing today. By the way, they're saying that here you see that the Beit Din paskin everybody has to listen. It's not true. Not every Beit Din that could say whatever they want, or not every Gadol Ador could say whatever he wants, and everybody must listen, because it doesn't work like that in the Torah. Torah we have rules and regulations. The only time the Torah is obligating the Am Yisrael and everybody to listen without asking. Again, we have to understand. Without asking. I didn't ask. If you didn't ask, you don't have to listen to anybody. That's the rule. The rule is, if you didn't ask, you're not obligated to do anything. However, the Beit Din Gadol Sanhedrin Agdolah doesn't care if you ask. They could make halacha and everybody must listen without any questions. Not like those fake videos that you saw around. Gadol Ador said everybody has to do X, Y, and Z, and everybody must follow those. Chas v'shalom, that our Torah is not Christianity. That's Christianity, by the way. Anybody tells you Gadol Ador said you must listen to Gadol Ador is an idiot, and it's not Torah. Is a person has to check his brain. It doesn't work like this. Our Torah does not work. However, if a community appointed a messenger and went and asked a rabbi, He doesn't have to be Gadol Ador. He could be Avram Sofer, the smallest of the smallest of the smallest. If they came to me and they asked me a question and I gave you an answer, oy vavoy in avera of you break that answer. Oy vavoy. And the community members asked the question from any rabbi, and the rabbi guided them what to do. They must follow the rules. That's it. There's no questions about it.
If it's correct.
What?
Only if it's correct.
You wish. What kind of talk is this? Don't ask a question if you doubt. You're not allowed to ask if you're in doubt. What do you mean correct? What kind of nonsense is this? Where did you come up with that from? Continue sleeping. What's it is? If it's correct. Chas v'shalom. Whatever the Rashi says, whatever the Chacham paskins to you, he said on red, blue, on white, black, on black, white. It doesn't matter. Once you ask, you're stuck for the rest of your life. There is no negotiations business. Rabbi, I heard halacha is like this. What? There is no changing the rabbi. It doesn't work. You could change your rabbi till tomorrow, but whatever the rabbi told you, it's halacha. My problem is not that. My problem is I get a phone call, Rabbi X, Y, and Z said this. I don't care what he said. I never asked him. What kind of nonsense is this? Right? So Gadol Ador said this. Who asked him? Which idiot? It's like asking a Gadol Ador, can I go across the street on the red light when it's red light for me? Well, the Gadol Ador told this idiot to go across the street. So now I have to follow? Doesn't work like that. Doesn't follow. There's no such Torah. It's all Christianity. It's all Christianity. You don't even know. The Torah is being infiltrated by Christians. Chas v'shalom. You can't ask questions on rabbis. Who told you this nonsense? Of course you could ask. If a rabbi, what do we tell you all day? If you must ask questions, what are you talking about, Rabbi? That's how we learn Torah. That's how Torah is progressing. That's how you must ask questions. However, once you ask Subtak Halacha, there's no questions anymore. But I had this and I had that. Chas v'shalom. And all this, the worst thing I love. I love it and I hate it about Hollywood. Every person I talk to, they have a rabbi in somewhere, in some long distance over there. I never saw the rabbi in life. I send the rabbi an email. This guy. I send Rabbi Motzafi emails. Never spoke to Rabbi Motzafi. He's my rabbi, chief rabbi, my rabbi, my posek. Never spoke to him, never saw him, nothing. Rabbi Motzafi is his posek. What are you talking about? What nonsense is this? Every rav, every community has to have a rav. And you have the best rav over here, by the way. The best rav here, Rabbi Yosef. Rahman Islam. Here, yeah, last week, he tells me, Avram, we have a problem. What's the problem? The problem is, he applied for a bigger job, obviously for more pay, and they told him, yes, we're taking you. Good. So he replied to them, okay, I'm coming to work for you. Yeah? Listen to this Rashayim. 2 weeks later, before he comes, before he gets to come, he gets a phone call. He gets a phone call. What's the phone call? Excuse me, you know you're not going to work on Shabbos, we don't need you. We don't need you. Yeah? What do you mean you're not going to work? This is a federal issue. Okay. Baruch Hashem, we talk. Rabbi Button says, I don't care what they called him. Go to work. What did he do on Friday? He went to work and he has a job. And if he didn't come to work on Friday, what would it be? They will say he never showed up. You hear how it works? You hear that? This is Rabbi Button. You have a Chacham. That's what the Torah is. You ask him. There's no, let me call this rabbi somewhere in Israel. Oh, that rabbi, some rabbi in Israel is my rabbi. What are you talking nonsense? You have a posek in your midst, you ask questions, and that's the only way to live. This is not what it does talk. This mitzvah is 120, and we're going to see there's another mitzvah that says that whatever the right is, about 300 something. Already, we have to do it 20 years in a row. We'll remember the mitzvah. Anyway, mitzvah 120 says if this Beit Din, however, paskin not according to the Torah, they made a mistake, and everybody did this avera. Again, the avera was that the punishment is karet only. Then, שנאמר, ואם כל עדת ישראל ישגו ונעלם דבר מעיני הקהל. So what happened was the Beit Din gave up psak. They gave up psak, and they asked them, and they gave up psak. Or in this scenario was actually, they were not asked, but this Beit Din told the psak, and as we know, Al-Sedrek Dodah controls everybody, has full coverage, full power, well, as they call, what do they call that? Full sovereignty over you. And Anshe Knesset Adolah have full sovereignty over us. The only time that other people that are not Anshe said, I don't care what Gadol Ador means. I don't care how many names there are. I don't know what it means. Moetzes HaGedolim doesn't mean nothing to us. If you have Sanhedrin Gdolah and they gave up psak, that has sovereignty of us. But Moetzes Agdolei, it's only Christianity talks like this. We don't talk like that. They have zero power until we ask them. Okay? That's why you understand. Every time my shurim I give, anytime I give a directive, halacha, people ask me, I always write, the first thing I say on all my shurim, go look. Anyone who is of any concern, if I ask you, somebody asks me shayla halacha, and I want to make it general because other people are asking the same question sometimes, so you make a general statement for the public, always I say, to all whom this is concerned. Whoever wants to care, well, I'm not imposing my doubt on you, who am I? I'm nobody. You do whatever you want. This is the question people ask me. This is the answer. You don't have to follow me. That's the way the Torah tells us. Pirkei Avot tells us specifically. You cannot tell people this you must do, unless you're in the power of Sanhedrin Gdolah. There, you need Smuchim, 71 of them. They could control the nation, and we have zero right to choose. Now, in this case, also this whole concept. מדיני המצווה כגון מה שאמרו זכרונם לברכה שיש טעות בהוראות בית דין בית דין חייבים להביא הקורבן ולא על העושה על הפיהם. Now, so we have a rule. The rule generally is you asked even a rabbi, right? Many people complain about this. Hashgacha wise. Hashgacha. Today we have this all the time. This question comes up every day. You ever heard of hashgacha? This rabbi said this hashgacha is kosher for me, so I ate from it. No, if you ate from the hashgacha and if it's taref, you will be 1,000% responsible for it. He might have mifnei ever lo titen michshol. He was machshel you, true, but it's 100% on your head. The sin is on your head, and you have to do atonement for it. There is no such thing as rabbi is responsible. You are responsible to check to make sure that you could trust the rabbi. That's why many Talmidei Chachamim, many Yirat Shamayim people don't eat any hashgacha, especially when this day and age when all the hashgachot told us already the old Rev that they didn't do no hashgacha during the shutdowns, the close downs. In 2020, I can't mention the name of it. YouTube is going to go crazy, right? Remember those days? 3 months that everybody was shut down. The Hashgacha all certified that they were all working on Zoom, right? So they were all feeding us treifus. I was in the hospital. I don't know, 6 months. Until maybe everything was already replenished until I came out. But they were telling everybody that they were feeding treifus. There, it's our responsibility. We have to do tshuva for it. There is no atoma. However, in case where the Seder HaGdolah already ruled and you made there, okay, so as we said over here, some averot we will be responsible for, and so even though we got the psak, and some will be the them. We're going to tell you which conditions have to be met first before in order to be to patur the person who died, who did avera. First of all, the rule is it has to be 71 on Sanhedrin making a psak. And it has to be the chief rabbi of the Sanhedrin has to be there when they make the psak. And again, each one of them have to have smicha of to be a part of the Sanhedrin. Shneimar, as it says over there, im me'enei haida ad sheyu lahem le'enayim. What's le'enayim? What's what I mean? From the eyes of the Eidah disappeared. It means that the entire Sanhedrin is our eyes.
So I have a question.
Yes.
When I was a kid, there was one hashgacha everywhere in Israel. Now you're going to the supermarket, you have 2 hashgachot.
Why? Why? Very simple. Very good question, Rabbi Moshe Cohen. It's a very simple question. Each individual likes to eat his own hashgacha. I want to trust this one more than the other one. I grew up in the yeshiva.
So you don't have a discount here?
What?
You don't have it here?
What do you mean? Of course you have it here.
No.
Well, you have one hashgacha everywhere?
Why? How many hashgachas do you have? Israel, you have in one fridge, you have 10 hashgachas.
Same thing here. Go to KC. When's the last time you went to KC?
Oh my gosh, you have been to
What, 25,000 hashgachot over there? What are you talking about? Which part?
Yeah, you have so many today.
What are you talking about? Go to the refrigerator, milk refrigerator. You just milk is like 4 different types of milk. And each milk has like 3 hashgachot.
Why?
What? I told you right now. Why?
It's not correct. I don't think it's correct.
What do you want? What do you expect?
I want to have one Ashgacha.
You want to have one ashgacha?
Yeah. One rule.
I thought you were going to tell me I don't want to eat none of them.
No. You're going to this, he's not eating Mahmoud. This one.
Okay, that's right.
If he was a bad din for all the ashgachot,
Right.
it's good. But the problem is individual is
So-
look like more just prophet situation.
No, it's more probable. No. Now we're talking nonsense. There's no such thing as prophet situation. We're talking over here right now. I prefer to eat this hashgacha. Rabbi Moshe Cohen prefers to eat his hashgacha. I don't understand what's your problem. What's bothering
How
you?
you know what ashgacha to eat?
Oh, so don't eat nothing. That's right. You're not allowed to eat anything.
Be a farmer.
If you 100%, you have zero permission to eat anything. You.
Why?
If you just said those words,
But you're not a bad din, you cannot posek for me.
you can do whatever you want. You just say, I'm not posek for you anything. I am telling you the rule is, if you don't know any hashgacha, Rabbi, you just ma'id al atzmecha. You just testify. You don't listen. I'm not giving you a psak. I'm just telling you, I'm clarifying you the rules.
No nonsense, just suggest.
Not suggestion. According to your words, I'm not talking to you.
Suggest.
You telling me that you don't trust any hashgacha, you're not allowed to eat anything. Yeah?
When I was a kid, there was only Khatam Sofer. If you say today Khatam Sofer, it's like you're eating pig.
Chas v'shalom. First of all, we're on video. Let's not talk about any hashgacha in particular. That's first of all. There is no such a thing. Again, I just want to clear it for Nadav. I did not paskin for you anything. You paskin for yourself. You just declared to me that you don't know all the
But
hashgachot.
don't go in the journal because I can told you the same situation after the video because if
No
I tell
problem.
something, maybe they're gonna shut down the YouTube for you. So after the YouTube we'll discuss.
Again, very simple rule. I told you what many Hasidim do, what many tzaddikim do. People who care balev, people who have neshama, they don't eat nothing outside. Why? Because of your problem. They do not trust any hashgacha. Once you don't trust any hashgacha, you're not allowed to eat outside. Not trust. If you don't know them, how can you trust? How can you eat them?
Nobody know no one.
So don't eat. Leo, that's it. Stay home and eat properly at home. עד שיהיו להם לעיניים לא כלומר, that's right. One second. Here he tells you the rule. The rule is, the Beit Din, Rabbi Moshe, the Beit Din has to give you hashgacha, has to be your enayim. Here it says clearly.
I don't want to call it Beit Tzedek.
Okay. Anyway, Ro'in leora, and therefore they have to be trustworthy people for you. ויתעו רבם בדבר זה שהורו בו ויורו בפירוש. Now what happened was the rabbis gave up psak and they went again. They were pasking it not accordingly. שאמרו להם מותרים אתם לעשות. They told the nation you are allowed to do such an act. ויעשו כל הקהל או רובם על פיהם. What happened was the nation followed them, or most of it, or entirely. והעושים שגוגין על פיהם ומדמים שהדבר שהורו בית דין כדת הורו. So everybody thought that everything was properly done. Like, no, this beit din says hashgacha is kosher. I follow them, right? In that case, ולא שידעו אותן עושים שטעו ועשו אף על פי כן. However, if the people who are doing it had some speculation about the ruling of the Beit Din, they're going to be now responsible. If they had any speculation, they shouldn't have done it. The rule is they shouldn't have done it. ועוד, שיורו לבטל מקצת מצוות, או חס ושלום, the other way around, they told them not to do certain mitzvah, אבל לא לעקור כל מצווה אחת. But חס ושלום, the Beit Din can never say, stop doing a certain mitzvah. Unless it's Horat Hasha. But today there is no Horat Hasha. There is no Beit Din who tell you to do any mitzvah to stop any mitzvah because they're not in that level. Okay? But if there was such a case, even in the case of what's his name? Eliyahu Navi, Eliyahu Navi brought a bima, he made a korban outside of the Beit HaMikdash was a question how he's allowed to do it. So over there it says Horat Hasha, he was allowed to do it because it was only for one time, it was not forever. So that also, so a Beit Din would never be allowed to do that, to be allowed to let him any mitzvah. Okay, okay, let's see. Okay, so now the rules are, we have to understand, there's a lot of rules involved of paskining halacha, how to follow. Just wanted to be misakem and everything. If you have a problem, today's day and age, if you have a problem with hashgacha, if you don't know any hashgacha, you're not allowed to eat from it. Bottom line is, you can't say, close my eyes, let it be on their heads. Many people do that. Many people do that. It's on their head, Ahmad, and it's on. And it's not. It's on your head. But you have to be, won't say, like it said, you said hashgacha. I trust this hashgacha, and I believe in this hashgacha, and this and that.
Okay,
and even
but
that.
years ago, you don't have so many hashgachot.
Yes.
So you want to tell me that I didn't eat kosher?
What?
When I was a kid, it was on a Khatam Sofer. So
If you only ate that hashgacha, then you should know problems. What's the problem?
but this is the one I only wanted to was in it.
What's
Who
the
said?
problem?
The balance is who said it. You know
So
what
now
I mean?
it's not kosher Khatam Sofer.
But again, I don't understand you. But what's your problem? What's bothering you?
My bothering is so many hashgachot.
But we're not here to discuss all the hashgachot. If you want to talk about all the hashgachot, it's very simple. You have to trust them. If you don't trust them, don't eat them.
Rabbeinu, when you finish with the video, we'll talk. Because
Okay.
you cannot talk.
ונוהגת בזמן הבית שיש לנו סנהדרין הגדולה. So this mitzvah number 120, the korban has to be brought by the Sanhedrin הגדולה if they made a mistake. Please tell your ladies at home to thank them for giving us opportunity to come to learn without being busy doing laundry, without preparing breakfast, without Hashem. We're learning here. And tell them thank you very much. After this, we're going to learn halachot.
Makes us spicy.
Shulchan Aruch, B'ezrat Hashem.